Why is this documentation take so long time? What is Cdsco? Central Drug Standard Control Organization. This is Cdsco, which is like an FDA in the United States. Hi, this is Mani here from ADL Consulting. India is opening up to the world of manufacturers, and with the K-beauty wave coming over to India, we can see that many Korean cosmetic manufacturers finding ways to sell their product here in India. Whenever we consult with the clients, 9 out of 10 clients have some or the other issue with the cosmetic registration in India. And most of the questions that are being asked, why is this documentation take so long time? And is the regulations in India, is it too complex? In order to export the product from foreign manufacturer to in India, every cosmetic must be registered with the regulatory body called Cdsco. What is Cdsco? Central Drug Standard Control Organization. This is Cdsco, which is like an FDA in the United States. Cdsco regulates medical devices, pharmaceutical products, as well as the cosmetics to enter into India. As per the Indian Act 1940 of the Drugs and Cosmetic Act and the Cosmetic Rules 2020, every cosmetic must be registered with the Cdsco, the regulatory body. And how does we as a manufacturer will register with the Cdsco? There are 2 forms. First is the application, which is called Form COS1. And after we apply Form COS1 with the Cdsco, the department will review all the documentation, and once everything is correct, and then they will issue Form COS2, which is the registration certificate. And only when we have Form COS2, Form COS2, we would be able to legally bring the product from abroad to India and then sell it within the Indian market. Usually it takes 90 to 120 days in order to get the registration after we submit the documents with the Cdsco. And what happens after we submit the documents? It goes to different layers of personnel within the Cdsco department who will review each and every document, and then they will issue the registration. Apart from the manufacturing documents, there are 5 other documents that we must submit with the Cdsco. The first one is list of ingredients. Second one is certificate of analysis. The third one is MSDS, Materials Safety Data Sheet. And there are 2 more declarations saying that our product is not tested on animals and there are no heavy metals which are used in manufacturing this product. Once the documents are ready, we must upload all of these documents on a portal called Sugam portal, which is maintained by the Cdsco. And what happens after we submit the documents? It takes months together for different department personnel to review the document one by one, and then they will issue the registration certificate COS2. At first, the document will be verified by the drug inspector, who will check the authenticity of the document, whether the POA, is it correct? The apostille documents, is it genuine? They will check, and then they will pass the documents to ADC and DDC, Assistant Drug Controller and Deputy Drug Controller. They will review the technical aspects of the document, and they will check the labels, whether the composition, is it matching with the Indian standards, and if they need any clarification, they'll raise a query. And once they are satisfied with the technical aspects of the product, then they will pass these documents to JDCI, Joint Drug Controller of India. This is a very important stage where the JDCI will review the documents with the global portals. They will check whether the free sale certificate is it genuine by looking at the product in the regulatory portals of the exporting country as well. And once the JDCI verifies and he approves the documents, then it will be finally handed over to the DCGI, Drug Controller General of India, who will issue the certificate. And once we get the certificate, we are free to import the products and sell it here in India. At any point, when there is a query raised by this department personnel, it goes back to the beginning, right? So then everyone will review once again, and then they will issue the certificate. And what about the fees? For every manufacturing site, it is $500 US, and then for every category of product, it's $1,000, and for every variant, it is $50. Once I get the COS2 license, can I export the product immediately? No, you cannot export it immediately. There are few other licenses that we require as a manufacturer. This CDSCO license is just a safety aspect of the product which can be imported, but there are few other aspects like LMPC, which means the label of the product must be registered, and there are EPR standards for the plastic bottles or the plastic tubes which are being imported. There needs to be a license EPR registration, which means every plastic which are being imported must be registered with the Pollution Control Board here in India, how it is being managed in India. Do I need to re-register the license from the scratch after the expiry of 5 years? Previously, we have to re-register, but now there is a different model. It's called perpetual licensing model, where before the expiry of the license, we just pay retention fees to extend the license. But what happens? Even after 1 day of expiry of the license, we will have to go through the documentation once again, and then we get the new registration, then use the license. If you have the license and if it is time to renew, make sure that you pay the fees and extend the license. Can I just send the samples without registering in the portal? No, you cannot send the sample without registration. Every product which is imported in India must be registered. And the advice is, when you are registering for the CDSCO, include the samples also as a variant with the license, so that you don't have to register a new license only for the samples. You can register the manufacturing site, the category, and the variant. In the variant, you can include multiple variants like 5 ml, 10 ml together as a pack, and you can send them as a sample. We have covered a lot of things about CDSCO today, and if you are a foreign manufacturer of cosmetic product and you would like to bring your products into India and sell it here, and if you have any doubts with regards to the CDSCO licensing, you can always reach out to us, and you can share with us your product list so that we can review and we can advise you on the timelines and the documentation. Even a single mistake in the document will lead to a delay in the licensing, and it will simply waste time and money. So we would highly recommend you to go through the documents beforehand and make sure that it is error-free, and then apply for the license. You can always talk to us for the licensing. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Thank you.